You are listening to the VCast.
Hey, what's up? It's the VCast. We're back with a real episode. It's number, I don't know what it is. All right, I don't know what it is. I've been off of the game. But I'm here with my boy, Big Mike is in the motherfucking building. What up, Big Mike?
What up, dude?
I'm chilling, man. How are you?
Glad to be here. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
This is another episode of Father Figures. That's what this is.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, this is an episode of Father Figures. I forgot about that
For my
shit.
figures.
So that's going to be up. That's an easy name for the episode, Father Figures, because that's what we've been doing.
For the figures.
Right? We've been talking about that shit for the last. What the heck? We were just talking about fucking Ryan and shit, and how these little kids are making money on streams. Has you're at the 16-month age.
Yeah.
So you're not at the stages of like shows when they start getting into the channels.
No.
But you'll see how quickly they pick it up.
Yeah, already she's got like her favorite movies. She's got 2 or 3 movies that I could say the name of and she lights right up. Like she knows exactly what she loves Sing 2.
Sing 2?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I watch some of the stuff that she watches. There's a couple of them. If I say Encanto.
Oh, Encanto. She loves that?
Whoa.
Oh, shit. You're in trouble
I
now.
kind of love that, too. I'm not even going to front. But, yeah, she's not talking yet. She's, like, right before talking. Uh-huh. She knows what we're saying. She just doesn't know how to realize it, how to make it real.
Yeah.
So in a couple of months, I swear she's not even going to start anywhere. She's just going to start talking, you know what I mean? She's not going to have to learn. It's just going to come out all at once.
She's just going to start.
Yeah, she tells me
saying,
what to do.
She's going to start quoting movies.
Oh. God, really?
Just start quoting movies.
That's how I got through high school.
Right? That's how they teach the immigrant kids when they come over. They just see, you know what? I keep harping on this, but I keep bringing it up. And now as you're, the whole reason we even thought of doing Father Figures in the first place was because you're a dad and I'm a dad, and we're like in both first-time dads and both in different stages, right? So there's stuff I'm experiencing for the first time that you have something to look forward to, and then there's the stuff you're experiencing that I have experienced, and it's fun to see you go through it because even though I've did it with my kid, it's still a different kid. It's a whole different experience.
Oh, dude, of course it's a different experience. It's just like we were talking about. It's a crazy experience. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And then I'll call you and ask you. And I know you didn't know what the fuck you were doing, but it just, you get through it.
Yeah.
But it's wild. And knowing everything I know now and thinking about my life prior, everything changed. Like everything fucking changed just in that 1 second. And prior to this, I'm trying to go to war. I'm trying to run and gun and do wild shit.
Yeah, you're building an offense, and then all of a sudden the kid comes and you got to start worrying about defense.
Yeah. All of a sudden I got a reason to stick around. So it just changes everything.
I don't know.
I feel like that's the most fucking obvious thing you could say, but.
But it's something that everybody goes through. Like we were talking about outside, you're like the fucking. It's the fatherhood role is of being the guardian, right? So you got to protect the whole dome of existence on this kid's.
Yeah, everything that happens, all the
ins and outs at this stage.
Yeah,
you have to be involved in all of it. That's what I'm saying. Like when you see like all the nuances, right? Because I grew up with nieces, nephews, little cousins. I've been around kids my whole damn life. But nothing is. That's why I was able to change diapers fast. That's all it did help me. Was like at the hospital when they were teaching us how to put diapers. I just put it on. They're like, "Oh, how'd you know how to do that?" I was like, "I've been raising kids." They're like, "Oh, you guys are gonna be all right."
Yeah.
Because I knew like what you do with a baby.
They're like, "You're fine." You know how to change a shitty diaper. You're fine.
But yeah, that
Like,
doesn't.
fuck
Yeah,
off.
I have
If I
a.
talk to her now, I'd be like,
Yeah.
that's what you told me. I'll be fine, you
Yeah.
motherfucker. You
I have a
should've
bit
fucking
about
told
it.
me to run.
They don't teach you anything.
Nothing.
They don't teach you. They teach you how to
Nothing.
put the kid in the car seat and then go.
Yep.
That's it.
Thank God they did that.
Yeah,
I have her
that's
fucking
the
sit on my
basic,
lap.
the basic understanding. You know, feeding them and shit.
But isn't that crazy about our species? Is that they don't tell you anything, and we still all get it done.
Yeah.
That's a testament to how resilient we are as humans.
Yeah.
We go through the craziest shit, and obviously you see different outcomes in people and their
Yeah.
psychopathic characters.
But that's the way you have to learn.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can really learn. This isn't something like, right? This isn't something that you could look back on and be like, I can prepare a manual and stuff. Like, all you could do really is talk about your experience and how you respond to things, you know, and like behaviors you notice, you know, and like what to do when they cry because you understand why they're crying.
Right, or that's the first thing on your mind.
You know,
is like,
the
why
checklist.
is this happening? Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
the
There's a checklist.
of possible reasons.
Completely natural checklist. Nobody tells you what to look for. It just happens. You hear that, whatever, that cry, that scream. You're like, we're fucking running.
You gotta fucking
It's wild. She's like a little drunk. She's like a drunk midget running around.
Yeah, a little drunk kid.
Her like arms flail and she has no particular direction. She's looking one way and going the complete. She runs into walls.
You're worried
all
about the way
Does your
they
kid
walk?
ever do that? Run into walls?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
Corners of tables.
There's a literal dent in the wall. You've been to the old house, right? You know when you walk in the front door and there's the stone floor, and you're in that little, you know, the entrance, right? And then there's the entrance to the big living room, but there's like a, you know, like a little wall right there. The kid ran down the hallway, tripped, and fell head first into that wall and put a huge freaking dent right in the freaking sheetrock, where we were like terrified.
Oh my God.
Because she started crying and I witnessed it.
Yeah.
And we both witnessed it because we were standing right there and we saw it and we were like, oh my God. And like, you know, no, as a matter of fact, her mother didn't witness it. Her mother was in her office and I saw it. And when or maybe I didn't even see it either. Maybe I just heard it and came over. And yes, and that's what it was. We came over. We didn't see it. We just heard the thud and the cry. And then when we went over there, we saw the wall. We thought that kid was like concussed. We thought she had brain damage.
Yep.
The size of the hole in the wall. And like, we were looking at her. We're like, are you all right? Are you all right? And we're like,
dude, that will turn people against people fucking fast too, because I'm so uber protective of this kid. I get a call on my way home from work and wifey's like, I hear her screaming in the background. My brother's at the house and she goes, she just hit her head pretty hard. I'm like, what? Is she okay? She's like, yeah, I gotta go. And hangs up. I'm like, what the fuck?
She threw a grenade on your lap and closed the door.
Shit. So I get home in 8 seconds from wherever I was, 25 miles away. I fly. I get in the door. I'm like, what's going on? Everything's normal. She gives me a kiss, a hug. I say, what's up to my brother? She gives me a drink. I'm thinking to myself, everything is obviously fine. So I'm like, where's the baby? And she's like, oh, she's sleeping, obviously. I'm like,
she's unconscious.
So what?
It's fine.
All right. She doesn't say anything, you know. I go to sit down with my brother, and we're in the other room, and he's like, man, I was so scared. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, the baby. And I was like, bro, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, what? What did I just do? So he goes right in front of me. Kel was in there in the other room, right where she is right now, in the kitchen. And so he's out there playing with the baby. And the baby is doing this, like, run towards him, run away from him thing, you know? So she runs away from him, turns around, laughs, and then goes to run kind of parallel to him, but she's watching him. Bangs against the couch, and then, you know, her momentum doing 2 miles an hour or whatever, bounced her backwards, and she went headfirst into the corner of this really nice, like, sturdy wooden table.
Oh my God.
The TV
That's
stand.
fucking terrifying.
So I go, all right, tell me more, please. He's like, bro, as soon as she hit her head, he's like, I just like sucked in a breath of air and held it. And she got up screaming. And for 10 or 15 minutes, she was screaming. Now, in all fairness, my wife tried to tell me kind of what was going on, but I probably blew it off thinking everything's fine. And now I hear this and he's like, I don't know. I didn't want to, she's asleep. And I'm like, oh. So all of a sudden I turn and now I'm like going at Kelly pretty hard. I'm like, why would you put her to sleep? Why would you do that? Rah, 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 rah. Yeah. But she didn't really do anything wrong. I just freaked the fuck
it's
out.
Fear, bro.
Like it's a fear.
Yeah, I tell my daughter that all the time because sometimes she puts herself in a situation. Let's say just in the watch when they start walking, and like you're trying to do stuff at the shopping place, and you're like trying to guide them while doing something, and they just carelessly walk out. Like the lash out that comes out of me. And I've been talking about this also is like I feel like the way that I was raised in my family with people being so strict and everything being very like militant. Like if it didn't go this
family?
way, yeah, like my grandmother, my mother, by the time I started growing up, like by the time I was like 8, 9, 10, my mother had already started calming down. But my early age, no, probably till I was like 12. Yeah. By the time I was like 12, my mom was already on like
she was partying.
By the time I moved to Heights, no, she wasn't partying. She was just like her anger,
and
her ability to fucking snap on you.
I got you.
She started chilling out. So I didn't have it as bad as my brother and sister, who grew up with my grandmother. And I grew up with my grandmother too, but like I said, this was all young before I was 10, 12, like around that time. Then, then everything relaxed. But my early upbringing was very strict. And I think now, like seeing that, I feel like my family grew up poor. Like my grandfather and my grandmother, they came from Puerto Rico. Yeah. And my mother was born in Puerto Rico, so they grew up. My grandfather on my mother's side was a sugarcane farmer, So you live in that whole time when there's no plumbing, like you don't have running water. Yeah. It's just poor. You're living as a farmer. Like they don't know about technology and all the other stuff. They're still living the way you lived, and even before that. Like their parents, imagine the way their parents brought them up, and their parents lived even with less. Yeah. Right? And so everything, when you told a child something, was a matter of life and death.
Yeah, it's serious.
Literally.
Like give you a task, do it exactly
you have to do this. You can't, I don't have time to waste. Yep. Right? Every motion is accounted for.
Everything's
because
very serious.
You had to eat.
Yep.
Right? You had to eat every day. You had to freaking survive. You had to keep your household. You have to be worrying about the next day.
That's interesting. I mean,
so that behavior is inherent.
Yeah, and I have the same thing. My mother was born in Cuba, so they escaped because they had so little. My father is from Cyprus, this Greek, Cypriot, and his father, my great grandfather, his father's father, his grandpa, was a farmer also. He had olive trees, he had goats, and in this little village. And I remember visiting this village when I was a little kid, when I was like 5, 6 years old. There was still dirt floors in my great grandfather's house. Yep. Inside his home, there was like stone and dirt. They were like rugged. And like you said, there was a bathroom, but it was an indoor outhouse at best. Yeah. And there was a way to pull your shit out, whatever. But you go outside, and the windows, bro, there was no windows. Yeah. There was just an opening with these shutter things. It was so, this is a tropical country, basically. It's
and Greece is old, too. So you got to figure there's so many generations.
That's what I'm saying. This whole village that they lived in was archaic, bro. Like, I walk down the road, even the people there, it's like a picture. I could give you a fucking picture of this. It would look like a postcard. They're little old ladies dressed in all black, fucking 100 degrees out in the shade. And they're dressed all over in black, and they're playing fucking dominoes and shit. They're playing games on the street. right in front of a little cafeteria, a cafe, and they're sipping on coffee, and there's a beautiful breeze. It's real dry and nice. There's fucking birds living in the buildings, like in the walls. It was, bro, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I was fucking 5 years old because it was so crazy to me. I felt like I went back in time.
Yeah.
And then I went back later, and it, whatever. Now they rebuilt it. There's streets and shit. But anyway, we got off topic. I think I'm the same exact way. I was brought up very direct and to the point, and you better be listening and get it right, or at least try your best. And if you get it wrong, you better get it right the second time. And that's definitely what happened to me. They passed it down to me. I got it from Pop, and he's the best, but I'm very harsh.
But those are standards.
They're so fucking high.
Yeah.
And like, I don't seem like that. I don't reflect that to other people, but people I care for, like my wife, God bless her. She's the only woman I fucking know that can put up with my particular shit. Because I'm so direct. Like, I talk to her like I talk to you, minus a little respect. Figure that one out. I don't even get it. Because I talk to like you, like my boy. Like how I break your balls.
Yeah.
But even harder.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to put myself in check. Yeah, no, obviously I respect her, but just harsh, bro, harsh. And it's because I just want the best for her. It's like the same way I treated my youngest brother. He's 10 years younger than me. So it was me and my other brother, he's 2 years younger than me, and then an 8-year difference between him and my youngest. So he was the baby. And there's been a lot of times in retrospect where he would tell me, like, bro, you were fucking hard on me, And I think back, and sometimes I cringe hard because I was super hard on him. Both of us, older brothers.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. My other brother is like me. We're reflective. We think the same. That I can always count on, which is interesting. But on our third brother, the youngest, we both went pretty hard on him because we wanted him to be perfect. Like it all came from a good place, but it was fucking bad, bro.
Yeah.
We beat the shit out of this dude. And mentally, fucking put him, I wanted him to be putty, but I didn't want to, I turned him into dust. It was crazy.
Shit.
But we built him back up, and now he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Now he's a great guy, and that's the outcome that I don't think we see very often anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe people need a little tougher love.
Yeah.
To help them learn accountability.
Well, you know what? That was the other point that I failed to make before I went off on a tangent.
I did too.
No. But that's fine. That's what we did. We smoked the fattest blunt. I smoked a big mic blunt. You smoke blunts with comics, and they're little pipes. They're little teeny weeny fucking they look like big pens, or the mechanical pencils, like they're just like like little blunts. You smoke a big mic blunt, it's like a fucking his finger.
Bro, the fucking baseball.
That shit is like one of his fucking fingers.
Yeah.
That shit was a baseball bat. Anyway, it was wonderful.
Knocked us off a little.
Yeah, father figure blunt. That's what that was. Yeah. And it was like this fucking Sharpie right here. I'm fucking out there smoking this fucking Sharpie. But
it's pretty fat.
The difference also, it's not even so much the parenting. The parenting has a lot to do with it. I think parents have just allowed, the parenting flip from you dictating to kids dictating to you.
Yeah.
Kind of weird flip. That's different. But because also with parents, most of our generation grew up with parents where you didn't have a mom at home, right?
Yeah.
Someone that overwatches you.
Right.
Right. A lot of kids grew up in single families, right? But you had a co-parent, which was television, right? Yeah. Even for people with both parents.
Yeah, even when they were there with you.
Is a
the babysitter.
It's the babysitter, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the babysitter. It's the fucking hold them while I go do laundry or something, right? So you had this other...
Hold them.
You had this...
Hold this for a second, will you?
Yeah, WB, hold my kids while I go fucking
you don't
downstairs
even
and fold laundry.
Don't tell me no.
And smoke weed and fold laundry for an hour, hour and a half.
Don't worry about that. I'm doing laundry.
Why does this clothes smell like it needs to be washed again?
I was doing laundry.
Yo, but TV was the other parent, right? And television, when we grew up, is always had a morality to it.
Yeah.
There was always some sort of a lesson to be learned. There was direction. There was guidance in life and in life situations, and you saw what was wrong and what was right. It was very clear what was wrong, what was right, what to avoid, what to not avoid, right? And then, like, you would steer clear. You knew it would give you bad feelings in life when you were around things that were trouble.
Yeah, they reflective of that episode of Full House.
Yep.
Or
all that stuff. All that
those.
television.
It had a moral.
It was
in
funny.
The end.
It made you laugh. And then it taught you something. It taught you how to interact with other people, how to express your feelings.
Yo, I always felt like that shit happened. I would see an episode that was happening in my life. Like, I was like,
yeah, it was so relatable.
Yo, I'm saying, like, it was eerie.
It was like Seinfeld for you.
I was like, this is like the first time I jacked off, and they're talking about it and fucking whatever, you know?
Yeah.
The Cosby Show, I think it was.
Some bike shop owner tried to fucking touch you and fucking...
same
and
day.
all of a sudden you saw
like,
different
I just
strokes.
got molested, and this guy just...
That episode of Different
Yeah,
Strokes
dude.
when Arnold gets molested,
Man.
almost gets Arnold's boy gets molested, and they
to
both
get
fucking walk out on
hypnotized.
him.
They had to get
No,
hypnotized.
they left because they didn't want to do it, but the one kid wanted to stay.
When he
And
talked to the
stayed.
cops, though, yeah, I remember. Didn't they hypnotize him to, like, get the details?
No, he was offering them all cool stuff. He was giving them the best time, Sundays and stuff.
shit,
They were having the best time, and he was talking to them, and then he started giving them massages and shit.
Yeah, I remember.
Fucking, it was fucking
Oh my
creepy as
God.
fuck. But television,
It had something to...
it was a morality to it, and it was the entertainment we were exposed to, right? And then, check this out. My other hypothesis is that then we went to television that became a little bit more sexual. Got a little bit more frisky in the CW network. WB was wholesome Warner Brother content.
Yeah.
CW started coming at you with
What
One
is
Tree
CW?
Hill.
Oh,
And
those.
fucking Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
And all these
90210
shows.
even,
No,
bro.
90210 was before CW.
That was, but it started almost then. Like they were
that was
showing skin.
I think that was Fox.
that was Fox
or
yeah.
something. That was one of the.
No, it
but all
definitely
those
was.
channels went
Yeah.
to started showing more stuff. And listen to this. That's all stuff that was sexualizing what? High school students.
Yes.
Right? They're sexualizing high school students, and then a whole generation that's raised on those shows starts fucking high school students as teachers.
Yep.
Isn't
Bro,
that
well,
crazy?
Isn't it? Let's call that like the early days, if not the beginning of a movement. You're gonna start subtly. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think it probably started way before that, but I think there's somewhat of a movement to kind of sexualize younger and younger and younger. And like, what's the big thing now, bro? What's being exposed? a lot?
yeah. That was the beginning. That was like the breaking of it. I wonder what.
Like you said, there were morals even in TV. Now there's
They got rid of
morals
all
is
of
like
that. They got rid
gone.
of
They
all
don't
that.
even want morals in your home anymore. I
Yeah,
feel like.
dude, you watched some of these stuff that they watch. Like they watch. It's funny. Like some of these shows that my daughter watches now are. There's this one on HBO, HBO
Really?
cartoon. Yeah, that's I forgot what it's called, and it's like PG, and there's some stuff in there that's like an adult joke.
Yeah.
That'll
go right over the kid's head.
Yeah, it'll go right over the kid's head, but it's like.
It's right there.
Huh.
Why even put that in there?
It's like, it's like this show is it walks such a fine edge, but it's so funny. And for the most part, but there's nothing to it. There's no morality to it. There's no right or wrong. It's just being funny and silly and getting to the end of the day kind of shit. You know?
My daughter's not into like real dialogue yet. She still watches baby stuff.
Yeah.
So
keep pumping all that counting shit,
Yeah.
the letters shit.
Yeah.
That shit really
But, bro,
helps.
it's still shady, super shady, because most of that content is on YouTube.
You gotta get YouTube
Yo.
Kids.
Right in, we have that,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
God.
All right, good.
Because
Yeah,
the
look at-
regular shit,
Oh, bro.
it switches to fucked up videos, bro.
Bro,
And
the
why does the
ads.
algorithm do that? Even the ads,
Yes,
yeah.
the
But
ads
you're
will pop
next
up and fuck you up.
If I'm watching, before I put her on the baby one, I just had her on a YouTube so I could just cast. and we would watch one baby thing, and you'd think it would go into another baby thing. No, dude, it goes into like furry shit. Adults acting weird. Dressed like
my fucking daughter's watching a commercial. All of a sudden, she comes at me and she's like, "Hey, Daddy, you say you're tired. You want Cialis?" I'm like, "What?
God.
Why are you an ad now? Stop! You're selling my daughter Cialis. Why are you selling my daughter Cialis?"
Yeah,
Super so shady. Silly. That was the YouTube. That fucking the YouTube is you can't let kids go down that rabbit hole.
Yo, there's real weird, subtle stuff even in the shit that she watches now, that she's been watching since she was 3 months old. Like that fucking, I don't even know. Should I say the names? Like, does it matter? No, like Miss Rachel. You know Miss Rachel, right? Bro, this woman is just a girl, a woman, you know, a little younger than us probably. She's got kids, I'd imagine. I think I did a little research, and it turns out she had some, she was involved in, what do they call that? Like when you take a kid that doesn't have like a good place to live. She's crazy.
This crazy chick.
Yeah, that's her right there. Yeah. And they have tons of videos. Look at how many people watch these videos, bro. They're crazy. Millions of views. This woman is making a killing. And there's weird shit in these shows. So, well, everything you could say is weird shit. There's weird shapes, which were like a red flag. But then I notice there's a transvestite, or like some, halfway in between here or there. It's a woman doing her guy thing, and like, whatever, that's fine. But like, why did you showcase that? Why did you make that decision? And then on top of that, one day I noticed that there's a pendant out. Every time she picks up a guitar and starts playing, there's a pendant. And I like went to the extent of freezing it so I could zoom in. And dude, if I show you a picture of Baphomet, I'm 90% sure that that's what's on this girl's pendant. Doing this to little kids, like, why?
Could you imagine, like, people doing?
I see like hot dogs and pizza all over the place on her hat. She wears this pizza slice hat all the time, and people look at me like I'm fucking psycho. But like, isn't that what they say, man? What the fuck?
It's so suspect.
It's so weird.
I am very puzzled at the response to anytime. How they're making normal things like political it baffles me. It baffles me to the lengths. Like they're making fitness right wing. Yeah, like fitness is a right wing thing.
That's a thing now.
Yeah. On MSNBC. Yeah.
So if you're
fitness is a right wing.
You're a Nazi
yeah,
also?
It's like a right wing thing. Yeah. Why is the far right into fitness? So into fitness, and it's like, all right, now everybody that's in the gym's a fucking Nazi.
What the fuck?
Right. So there's that, and then there's what was the other thing? If you're into the gym, you're a Nazi, and also if you talk about any human trafficking, that's a right wing conspiracy.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Right. That
must be crazy.
And the problem I'm having is that I'm so fed up with both sides, because I consume a lot of social media, which I should change. That is one thing I need to change. I need to stop consuming and more creating and leaving. I need to stop consuming the mindless scrolling and shit.
It's so hard though, bro.
I know. It's a good time killer, but it's also a reality escape, which I need to not do. I need to be more in reality and taking more control of shit, right? But the problem is that the stuff that I agree with has its grifters, right? And then these people will take that. Like if I go on Twitter and I want to know more about that movie that came out,
right?
I don't see any of the people that they're talking about that are saying negative things about it. When I search for it, all I see are people complaining about the people that are saying shit about it. I don't see anybody complaining. I want to see both sides. I want to see what point are you making?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
All the headlines say people are saying.
Yeah, I see it on the news.
People saying.
Yeah, I see it on the news, right? Because the news wants you to argue about it.
Yeah.
Right? They create the narrative, But then when you look for normal people talking about it, it's like no, nobody's
nothing
talking
there.
about it.
Yeah.
If people, the people will repeat. Like if I ask a normal person, hey, have you seen that movie yet? The fucking
No,
Human Traffic. I haven't
tried
seen
to
it yet.
steal it. I
Either.
couldn't find it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
If anybody knows.
I haven't seen it yet, but I keep seeing the stuff online. I want to go see it, right? Because I like Mel Gibson. I like that dude that played Jesus.
Jim Caviezel.
That guy. He also played something in Terminator, I think.
Did he? One of the new ones, maybe. He's good. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's a fucking good
and
actor.
He seems to have like morals.
And
which
this
I
is
like.
a true story. Like they're talking about, it's a true story. But then you have the pundits on television talking about it's a right-wing conspiracy. It's about QAnon. And then people in the comments are like, they don't even talk about QAnon in the movie.
Right.
Nobody even mentions.
Isn't it a documentary?
Yeah. Nobody even mentions what is that shit called?
Adrenochrome?
Adrenochrome. Yeah. Nobody even mentions that in the movie. Like
No,
that's a goal.
it's not
They're
about
just
that.
talking about a guy that stopped a lot of human trafficking.
Those are crazy points that I think are accentuated in order to make certain people sound crazy. You know,
Exactly.
like, yeah, that is the point. Like that adrenochrome, that is definitely involved. But like, it's not the point. The point is children going missing and trafficked. You know, like,
No,
it's
but that's
not-
a right-wing conspiracy. You can't talk about that.
It's easier to call it a conspiracy when there's a crazy drug that people
Yeah.
are getting off on or whatever, you know, or they pick like the weird points and accentuate them.
Yeah.
And then even create other things like the whole Pizzagate thing. Dude, I don't know that it's not real. I've seen a lot of things with my own eyes that made me go, what the fuck? And if you say that, even anybody on both sides, they look at you weird.
Yeah.
You know, but again, like, why is it even have to do with politics? Why
But
is it
I
even
think
one
the
side or other?
media created Pizzagate. Like I think
Maybe that was one of those things they created to make people look stupid.
I think I don't remember. I might be wrong about that. I feel like somebody said something, like they were reporting on something else, and they like blew it up, and then it made everybody talk about it.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think it was something that a lot of fucking people were talking about it. But even then, like
There's a lot out there.
people
on it.
just people take shit from what they see on TV. They don't look into it. They just hear it and then turn around and say that without getting a. And I feel like we do that too with podcasts, but I feel like it's not just hearing something and turning around and saying it. You're actually getting educated on it.
Yeah.
Like it's somebody talking in depth about something. It's not a fucking thing with commercials and you're talking over 7 people trying
I
to
guess
make bullet
sometimes
points.
you just assume that that's going to be correct.
Yeah.
You know, but I tend to do a little bit of research. If it's something that's like important to me, like that
It's
we're
easy to
talking
look
about,
up.
Just look it up. I mean,
So
we have
easy.
it there, and it's crazy because there are some platforms that you can't find some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then I find it when I dig a little bit deeper, like using a different platform to do my searches.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's there, and you're like, "Why is that now?" You
How
know,
many
that makes
times-
it fucking weird.
How many times have you been listening to a podcast, hear some crazy shit, hit pause,
Right there,
and
all
then
the
you
time.
start fucking...
And then I forget the podcast because I'm so deep
Yeah,
in this.
then you're looking at this, then you go back and like,
Yeah.
well, I wonder what else this guy fucking said about it. Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
You go
All the
down fucking
time.
rabbit holes.
Because
yeah.
I don't like that shit when people just hear something and then they say it because it's
Yeah.
viral, you know, like that's why the media exists. That's why we go viral.
That's what
why
that's
we
what they
try to.
want. Yeah, that's what they want you to
Yeah.
do.
So they create that,
Yeah.
and if there's easy to bury another agenda in that, you know, if you really have an agenda, think about what they built. They built like this. They built this.
Web.
Yeah, the web, obviously, but
Not
yeah,
like
it's
the
a
internet, but like,
scaffold.
web.
I was looking for the word
yeah.
scaffolding.
Oh, scaffold.
It's like
yeah,
the
yeah.
scaffolding. They built it. We could jump on it, and all of a sudden, you can't even see it anymore. It's covered up. So now they can pick and choose what they do. It's like throwing a pebble in a nice serene puddle. You know, like it ripples all the fucking way across the world. You know, it's a really easy way to manipulate people as a whole. You know, they created that. And then, boom, now they could take advantage of it and pick and choose whatever you want. Want to make people fight?
Yeah.
Want to separate people? Want to divide them up and then make them fight each other? I mean, that's another conspiracy that they wanted to do to create, I don't know, a new world order. It looks like that can happen very easily, and it looks like it has happened.
That's the only way you
all
would be
the
able to. That's the only way you would be able to beat the U.S.
Yeah.
is by breaking it apart
Yeah.
from the inside.
Yeah.
There's no way any other way.
No.
Make it or if you really wanted to do it, was also get the rest of the world pissed off at us.
Which our media does.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Very easily.
All our
And
fucking,
anybody can
the
do it.
media, the politicians, everything we do.
Yeah.
How we interact with people. How we just fucking,
Yeah.
you know,
And the
do
safeguards
shit
that
for
they
all these
might
evil
have,
fucks.
which is really weird. The safeguards they have against things happening like that, they only use on certain people. They only block certain
Opponents.
people. Yeah.
People that threaten that fucking system.
Yeah.
Like a
You know,
Trump.
and if you're running, they
Yeah.
said that there were ties. I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't really research it too much, but I hear that there was definite ties with the FBI and Facebook when they started. You know, like it happened. And
Yeah, I think the CIA
they were
too. It
using
was like
and
a
the
shell
CIA,
company or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
That
okay,
funded them money.
we get edited out. We get, kicked off a platform, but anybody in positions of authority that can make really crazy decisions that would ripple effect through the entire civilization are at the helm of this ship.
Yep.
They're steering this fucking thing. That's
Did you
it's
see
all
that?
suspect.
Did you see that July 4th ruling from that Florida court? I think it was a Florida court.
No, what
They ruled that the government, in any capacity, in any fucking way that it exists, can no longer censor people online. Can no longer tell Facebook or any social media. The fucking district court issued, the federal district court issued a fucking injunction
Okay.
to the
That sounds shady.
yeah, so that they can't no longer tell, like, social media, Facebook, Twitter, they can no longer have any contact with them in regards to censoring people.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Watch that double back, and now the companies can do whatever the fuck they want, and the government can't even have our back. If we, like, I'm not saying censor anything, but like,
Well,
what
if
if
they break the
something
law,
crazy happens?
I think if they break the law, like if they break the
Yeah.
law and they do fraud or anything like that, they're not exempt.
Okay.
Right? They're not exempt.
I
they
could
just
see that
can't-
shit happening.
Yeah. They just can't be told.
All right.
Like they did. They came out with Alex Berenson. You know who Alex Berenson is, right? He's the reporter for the New York Times.
oh yeah.
Right.
Was
He
he the guy
wrote,
that was
um,
on Rogan.
He was on Rogan a few times. He wrote a book about kids and weed and like how weed can make you go crazy and shit.
Really?
And everybody hated him. I know I fucking was like, this guy's out of his mind.
Oh shit.
But then his shit has there's people that some, just like anything else, have a bad reaction and can become fucking schizophrenic.
oh yeah.
Right?
Of course.
So
I just didn't know the existence of this book. It was like a big deal.
Yeah. That's what he. It was. I think it's called like "Tell Your Kids" or some shit like that. It's some book like that.
I seem to remember
Yeah,
something about
That's how he became notable. He was also a New York Times reporter, an investigative journalist for the New York Times, and he during COVID was all over it, reporting on COVID, on the numbers, on the lockdowns, and how everything didn't make sense.
Oh,
and it
yeah?
was reporting live numbers all the time. Like, look at what they're doing. The numbers for the vaccine are 2 weeks ahead. Like, we have the numbers out of UK. He's reporting on all these things. The numbers out of Japan. They've been
and
vaccinating
his narrative
longer.
is against theirs.
And it's against the official stuff. And he's like, what they're saying, it's not making sense. This is overkill. Like, masks don't work. And, he's like doing all this things. Like, all these studies show in the history of science of vaccinations and immunizations and what's it called with disease, infectious diseases and stuff, with all the virology, all the history. He's talking to doctors that don't want him to be reported, right? So he'll get information and then he'll get all of the details and then write an article. And he would put it on Twitter, right? Through like WordPress or what's the other one that he uses now? Some email service. And he's on Twitter reporting and he's getting fucking dinged for fucking misinformation and shit. And he's like, but what? He's like, what? Somebody debate me. He's like, somebody tell me what's wrong in my information.
Wow.
Because you're not, all of my stuff is backed by data.
Yeah.
And these are
that's
the
fucked up
opinions of
because
doctors.
When they kick you off or ding you or whatever, like this happened to me on Instagram. Nobody contacts you and talks it out.
They say they review it if you appeal.
I appealed
Who the fuck
1,000
knows?
times, bro, and 4
Yeah.
years later they still didn't even.
You don't
send
talk
me an
to
email.
no one. You
But
don't
they shut
talk
that
to no
thing
one.
down for whatever I did because I know what I typed something. As soon as within 15 seconds, my shit was gone.
Yeah, because you were already fucking being monitored.
No doubt.
The stuff that you were saying was already being
No
monitored.
doubt about it.
And they did it to scientists, actual fucking Harvard and Stanford virologists, professors of virology of Harvard. They've kicked them off
What the
Twitter,
fuck?
right? So Berenson gets kicked off of Twitter. He sues. Right, and he sues a different way than the way that there was like a way that all the social media companies were claiming a defense.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, so
that they're like public utilities kind of like deal that they're they can't
That was
basically like
that
there's no way that they can tell them what to do about it. And basically the court can't say shit about the way that they're doing it because they're doing it under this fucking section.
Right.
So he didn't sue them under that. He sued them under the guise that the federal government told them, which eliminates that fucking clause.
Wow.
Because now you're talking about it. Now you're talking about a conflict.
And that's how it was exposed?
And yeah, because he got to Discovery and he got the emails and they were emailing the fucking Twitter telling him you got to do something about this guy. You were getting White House emails from the fucking White House telling him you got to do something about this guy. You already saw that on Twitter. It came out that the FBI told Twitter and Facebook that the Hunter Biden laptop theory was a conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah.
That it was an internet hoax, that there was no real information. Meanwhile, they knew that it was Hunter Biden's laptop.
That was that perjury.
Right? So they fucking told them that, so that's why they started kicking everybody off that would use it.
Say anything about it.
During the election. Yeah.
Oh,
So
my
they had all this
God.
fucking shit, and then the fucking court comes and rules.
Well, that's interesting. I don't trust anything that happens. If it looks good, it's too good.
I know. That's how I feel. I'm so cynical about everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Every time something comes out, and I'm like, well, what are they having you look at? Because Ian Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know, Ian
I
Smith.
love that guy.
If you look at his last few tweets, he's talking about the that movie and how the people that are involved in the movie are sus, bro.
Yeah.
Super sus, like ties to Clinton Foundation and like the shit they did in Haiti and stuff.
Dude, see,
Yeah,
I didn't look at that.
Like
yet.
it's like it's almost like a fool's thing. Like we're putting this, because he's like his first point is like, how if this is a movie exposing Hollywood, why is it the #1 movie playing in every single theater across the country?
Yeah, it should be some fucking.
It would be on YouTube.
Independent shit.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would be some
Oh
fucking
my
random
God.
shit.
That's
Right?
what they would do. That's what they would do, bro. Fucking hit you right when you're not thinking. You're thinking this is the most righteous fucking thing in the world, and it turns out that's 100%. I don't need to hear anymore. That's what fucking happened. Fucking pedophile movie. Who made it? A pedophile.
Yeah, because then look how it becomes a major discredit to it. It's not even.
Not only that, what else is in there? They're giving you something. They got us there to sit in the seat, so they're going to give you some fucking weird idea.
Yeah. I'm not paying
Something's
for it.
going to come.
I was going to
No
pay
way.
for it. I
I'm
wanted to
stealing that
support
shit.
it. Yeah, when I first came out, I was like, hell yeah, I want to
Damn,
support
bro.
fucking exposing these pedophiles and shit. Hell yeah.
Of course.
Like you got one side that's trying to normalize it, and then you got the other side that's like, fuck out of here.
Wow, see how brilliant that is? They just fucking divide just like that. Make a movie that's going to motivate those people one way, we are for sure, and then fucking hit them right in the fucking belly.
Bro, and I started reading it, and I did the same thing as you, because it's like one of those 10 slides of shit he typed, and I'm like, I started reading the first 2 slides, and when it said that, I was like, you motherfucker.
You're motherfucking definitely.
How fucking, you're right. Why is this, if this is exposing Hollywood, why is it the *1 movie? I want to look up that ruling, though.
Let's try and watch that movie live.
Let's just stream the movie.
Motherfucker, bro. That is so real. Yeah, I didn't hear this. I feel stupid, but that happens.
Independence Day celebrating. Oh, right here. Judge limits Biden administration contact with social media firms.
Ah.
Oh, it's Louisiana. Federal judge in Louisiana.
Ah. So what does that mean? He can't do it until the rest of them fucking...
Ruled Tuesday that the Biden administration likely violated the First Amendment by censoring unfavorable views on social media over the course of the coronavirus pandemic, calling the efforts Orwellian. U.S. District Court Judge Terry Doughty also issued a sweeping preliminary injunction barring numerous federal officials and agencies, including Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, and all employees of the Justice Department and FBI from having any contact with social media firms for the purpose of discouraging or removing First Amendment protected speech. God damn it!
Well, first things first. Why would you ever trust someone named Xavier? He's got an X in his name.
If you're not leading the X-Men, you're suspicious.
Yeah, guy, you're standing.
Yeah. There was an Xavier in high school that beat up my friend Juan Munoz, and I'll never forget that.
You beat up Juan?
Yeah.
Juan's a
Oh, no, it wasn't Xavier. It was Octavius.
Oh, yeah. That's, I don't know,
Right? His
bro.
name was Octavius?
Octavious, yep.
It wasn't Xavier.
No.
All right.
That's
Well,
right. Octavius was
Dr. Octopus is a
Got
fucking
him.
an evil person, too.
Yeah, for sure. He's got
They beat up my friend Juan Munoz, and I'll
fucking
never
eight,
forget
man.
about that. I'll never forget how helpless I felt
So
as I
it's-
watched him beat my friend up, and I could do nothing about it.
Dude, you're
Because he was a
halfway.
grown man in high school.
They were both grown men.
He was the size of a grown man.
He's so good at football. Yeah, he's 280 pounds.
And
He's
I was a
14.
child. Yeah, and I was a child. I did not bloom until after.
bloom, all right.
I didn't bloom until jail. Until jail food blew me up.
So this is just for the Biden administration, or is this?
Well,
for
no,
our
this is just the
governments?
federal government. It's Politico, so of course it's got to make it political.
Ah,
It's got to make it sound like it's really the judicial system telling the executive branch, relax, bitch.
it sounds good. I mean, I hope it unravels to still be a good thing because over and over again.
Well, because
something
like
good
exactly like
happens.
you said, bro, that fucking shit about the movie was so disappointing.
Oh my god,
I was
That is
like,
so
that's
disappointing. I really want to believe in a guy like Mel Gibson.
yeah.
You want that to be true.
Oh
you
man,
know?
you're right. It's a fucking Mel
They
Gibson
fuck-
movie,
They
bro.
fucked with him hard. He was silenced for a while, and you got to think like, why would they silence somebody that's really trying to do that? And that was putting my faith in the movie. I was like, this fucking guy is a great guy. He's like into Jesus. He gets it. He's got morals. He was in fucking Lethal Weapons.
Yeah.
And then I want it to be true, and then I hear something like that. Like, why would he ever take money from anything that had to do with the Clintons? Sounds like bullshit.
Watch.
Oh, we're going to find it? I want to find this.
Let me stay up. I genuinely do not give a fuck who this post offends.
He's the best.
I'm not here to coddle the intellectually lazy right because they fell for the next feel-good dopamine hit of freedom. Everyone rushed to the post to post the sound of freedom, the right's equivalent of the BLM black square.
Wow.
You've done your part. Now, hashtag save the children, open your wallets, and all that good shit, I guess.
Oh,
So he just starts
love
going after the
this.
right. Let's start with the simple premise that the right holds. Hollywood is controlled by pedophiles and work closely with the elite ruling class of politicians, media, and other big business.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I believe that to be true.
Oh, show.
So you're going to tell me that these evil elites we all despise who control the entire Hollywood apparatus just let this hashtag bombshell of a movie exposing child trafficking slide into every theater in the country and become the #1 movie? Right. Got it. Moving on.
Fucking true, dude.
Then this is the guy he talks about. Enter the Carlos Slim family. Carlos Slim, one of the wealthiest men in the world. Mexico's wealthiest man, coming in at a net worth of over $95 billion. Slim's son co-chaired the WEF Latin America in 2015. Slim donates millions to the Clinton Foundation individually through his companies and associates. And then they list all of the companies that he's associated with and how much they donated.
Directly to the Clinton Foundation.
Yep, those figures were quietly edited to hide how much he has actually contributed. He is in good company with his peers who donate to the Clinton Foundation, Bill Gates being one of them. Slim has also worked with Bill Clinton personally, and Bill praised him publicly publicly. Slim was part of a $20 million fund for Haiti and a $50 fund for Peru as well. This is a fucking thing that these people do. Those fucking
is where they get people from. They get a
all
lot of
natural
kids from Haiti
disasters.
and fucking
That's
Peru.
why that's a great place for evil to hide.
Yep.
Is amongst the fucking sheep, amongst the sheep herders.
Yep.
You know, like coming to say they're gonna help. Meanwhile, they're just fucking stealing children and stealing people because
pay
you
off.
can't count during a natural disaster.
They give the parents $200 and they just won the lottery and they're like, fine, take them. They'll live, and they go, they're gonna live in mansions, really nice.
Yeah. Remember all the houses they were supposed to build?
Oh my god,
shit. They
bro.
built nothing.
This is super shady. This
Yeah.
is so. I bet
Slim
you
has
fucking
close
true.
ties with Frank Gustra linked to Pizzagate. Both have worked closely with the Clintons on multiple projects. Gustra's organization, El Pira, openly uses the FBI-identified boy lover symbol as its logo, and it's publicly supported by the Open Society Foundation. Hashtag Soros. Slim's company, Immobiliaria, is also the largest investor of the New York Times, another champion of the Clintons and their foundation. Makes sense, bro. This is how it's all a big circle.
This is slimy.
When you look at all the people in power, the people in positions of power that are unelected people in power, this is the deep state that everybody wants to make into a conspiracy theory. But the deep state is all these people that operate in the government no matter what administration is in.
Yep.
Right? These people work
above them.
They work at the FBI. They work at the CIA. They work at fucking Department of Defense. They work at the Pentagon. And these people have immense power in the bureaucracy.
Yeah, they're pulling all the strings.
Yes. And they know all the ins and outs. Meanwhile, you come in, you got fucking somebody like Trump who comes in and he's just used to having people be able to do what he says. He's great at leading businesses and going in and telling you got to do this, this, and this, and then expecting people to do it because there's performance incentives.
Yeah.
Right? There's no performance incentives in the government, Mr. Trump. Welcome. He's like, I'm going to run it like a business. He's like, the problem is,
It's not.
which you are just realizing is there's no performance incentives.
Yeah.
There is favors incentives. There is people that are grandfathered in. There's nobody else to do the job. There's nobody else that knows, you know.
That's why he saw a lot of that pushback.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like the guy was looking for an incentive, but he was working like that's what happens. And not only are there no incentives, there's a lot of tape everywhere, and it's going to stop you right in your tracks. You want to get shit done. I'm sure he wanted to get shit done quick.
But it's not a
Can't do it.
business.
That's the bureaucracy. And,
it's
you
a
know,
fucking different ball game. And
there's a
those
lot
are
of
the
reasons why
people
they went against him. That's probably a good one.
100%, because all these people are also politically motivated.
Yeah.
Right? And you saw a lot of the shit that's coming out that nobody reports on, all the stuff with the FBI, those FBI agents that have text messages that were plotting to expose Trump and to support Hillary and to do whatever it took to not get Trump in office. And like these people all have power. These people all have authority to do things, right? And make things real difficult, right? And when people don't think that, they think it's like so much of a, you know, when you try to bring up the conspiracy of people controlling things and like how the government is controlled by this shadow entity, they're like, it's no way that you'd be able to control all that and have everybody,
all those moving parts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like,
I always say that.
It's actually really easy because these people that's their incentive, is that paycheck.
Yeah.
Right? So they want to keep the status quo.
Yeah.
They don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you get deep in enough, you don't want any of that to come out. So you're stuck in this river of immoral shit that's taking you wherever.
And everything's
you can't get out of it.
compartmentalized. Yep. You're not gonna move up if you don't play ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be a cap on the people that are good, or the people that can be, you know, some people could be good, but they can be controlled. You know?
Yes, of course.
And those people will get moved up. And then what you have over time is almost like inherited. It's almost like inherited. That's why the same people are running for president over and over again. The same group, like the same crew. That's why almost all the presidents are fucking related.
Yeah. They're part of like college crews, and they all went to the same place. They all
The Good
did
Boys
the same
Club
stuff. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the Good Boys Club. Yeah.
And it goes back hundreds of years. Like, you know,
Since the beginning.
Yeah, since the very beginning I don't know, like commerce in general.
Yeah. But you know
see
what?
The
It was
families are still prominent and they have different names now. But you do a little digging and you find out, oh, that was a Rockefeller. What?
It was easy to like combat because money was real. So there wasn't like you were up against a foe with unlimited resources. Right? But then they figured out
they bought
a
the
way.
banks.
They're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it so that we have unlimited money because we're going to print it.
Yep.
Get gold. Let's get off that fucking gold standard. Let's get money where it's just the U.S. dollar, and that's it. We can print it. We'll loan it. And then a lot of other prominent people were like, that's evil. Yep. We're not doing that.
And they still had the guys of the Federal Reserve representing, or with gold representing our money.
But that's what they were trying to cook up, right? Was the Federal Reserve, and then there was all the other very powerful, rich people that were good, and they were like, we're not going to do that. When we get back from vacation, we're going to do something about this.
Talk.
Yeah. So all right, we'll be back. For now, we're going to go on this ship called the Titanic.
Yeah.
And we're going to fucking chill on this ship.
Right
and when
back.
we come back from this ship ride, we're going to deal.
Us, right?
Yeah, we're going to deal it.
I'm
we're
there.
Gonna deal with it. And next thing you know, boom.
And then right before the fucking boat leaves, he gets off. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
That literally happened, bro.
Sick, bro. It's sick. It's you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You don't fucking
anything.
know.
Anything.
You don't fucking know.
This is what I walk around in my head thinking.
Yeah.
It's so fucking discerning.
Yeah.
I don't
try
know
to
what
just
the
tell
fuck's
jokes
going
now.
on, man.
I try to
Yeah.
just tell jokes now. I can't word myself. The funny thing is like, the thing is, before all this, conspiracy theories were something that you talked about, you laughed about, right? And you just really like didn't think much of it.
Wasn't serious.
Till it started coming true. And then you have the year 2020, the year of our Lord conspiracy theory.
Oh, boy.
Where it all came true. And then you were like constantly telling people, hey, I told you so.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you? And people were like,
Yeah.
now there's all these people that don't have any idea which way to go.
Yeah.
Because they're like, shit, they
Am I
were
gonna sound
right.
like this guy I was ridiculing for
Yes.
years.
You still don't want to sound like, because you're still rolling those circles.
Yeah.
So now you got all these people that are just out of place pegs.
Yep.
They're a bunch of fucking, now they're square and trying to get into these circle slots, right? That are everywhere, but
It's just not fitting.
it's not feeling right,
No.
you know? And then you get the people that tell you on the low, hey man, you were fucking right about that shit was crazy, huh? And it's like, yeah, I get people that were DMing me. They're like, man, I wish I could talk about this stuff. Like, you know, I was like, you're so
For real?
great. Yeah, 100%. I had other comics
I
that would
haven't really had
fucking
much
message me.
experience with people relenting back.
Yeah, 3 different people
Oh, shit.
that fucking told me. And I was like, ain't that some fucking shit?
Motherfucker.
Yep. And there was other people. Then other people started reposting shit. And then you started seeing people like, oh, yeah, now you get it, right?
I'm really slow and cautious when it comes to putting stuff out. I wasn't always like that. I used to just tell people, you know, I'd get into a good conversation with somebody and think like they're cool.
Yeah.
And I would just start talking about shit, and that turns bad real quick.
Yeah.
So now I don't really bring it up. I wait. You know, I might throw a couple little bits out, but for the most part, I wait for somebody to bring something up. Because I don't want to even waste my breath anymore.
Dude.
It got so hard.
Because you
like
could
it
go
used to-
out.
Yeah.
You could let out a nice breath.
Yeah.
Of fucking, like
Oh,
you could
yeah.
really like
There's a
spit
lot.
something to somebody.
And people
and
would
fucking
choke on it.
and you're like afterwards you're like, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm not really getting into a lot.
Yeah,
You know, I don't
exactly.
want to.
It gets a
there's
lot
so
deeper
much.
than that, and these
So
people are
much.
already fucking
Yeah.
drowned a long time ago.
Yeah, you got to fucking smoke a blunt with me if you want to fucking really dive fucking deep, because then that's a good fucking.
Then you might accept. See, this is the
Yeah.
thing. You used to be able to argue with people if they didn't see your way. You know, you would either duke it out or you would talk about it, maybe both. And it was possible to see somebody else's side. Now, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it, is what I hear most of the time, in one way or another.
Of course
Maybe
not.
those guys. I just don't
That's
wanna
the
hear it.
uncomfortable place, bro.
Yeah.
That's the uncomfortable place where you know in your heart that
It's a
bullshit.
possibility even.
It's bullshit. What you think is true and the stuff that you've been told and you see it all the time. And
You
it's
think
bullshit.
that's a defense?
And I think it's a defense to not. People don't want to admit that they're wrong. There's the 3 hardest things to do: is say I'm sorry, is say I'm wrong, and say I love you.
Yeah, true.
Right?
It's
Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry and I'm wrong are in the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry and I'm wrong is one. Saying I love you is one, and saying I need help is another one.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the other one.
That's hard shit to.
Those are the hardest things to fucking say. So
I
if
don't
you
know
imagine you had this belief, right? Even in sports, you see it in a minor case. You've been talking shit. Like I see that with a lot of Mets fans.
Yeah.
Right? They talk shit all year long when they're fucking doing good, and then when they collapse, they get real fucking quiet and they go away. And it's like then they like have like a weird, like have this weird interaction with them.
Yeah.
Right? But imagine that, but there's no season. It's just like you were just wrong, bro.
Yeah.
You were just wrong, and we were telling you, and it's bad. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not. There's more at stake that you were wrong.
Not even that. Like even still, even through all of the bullshit that was exposed, about that fucking cold that went around, about everything, the banks, all this shit, there are still people that deny even the possibility or even some of the real research that has been done. They will discredit it without even listening because they don't care. It doesn't entertain me. I don't want to deal with it. I don't care. But listen, I've been wrong more times than I've been right, for sure.
I gotta correct you. I don't like when people call it a cold because that shit was a fucking weapon. It was a weapon they made.
Yeah,
It was a fucking weapon they made. That shit was fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Fuck. They knew who to kill first.
Yeah, it fucked a lot of people up, but it
The
was
old and the fat.
it was a flu, bro.
It was
flu was
for
fucked up.
Most people, it was fucking nothing. But
It was fucked up. I'm not trying to take away. I know people that went down.
Weapon, bro. That fucking Fauci needs to go to jail.
Yeah. This is a
Fucking prick.
piece of shit, motherfucker. They all need to fry. We really should.
And there's fucking people that fucking no, but there's people that fucking straight up support it, and they're still stuck.
Yo.
In like this limbo where they don't like you, so they don't want to admit.
Don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear.
Don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Even still, I still see people driving around with a fucking mask on,
Bro.
alone in their own car.
Bro,
What the fuck is wrong
people
with you?
still have vaccinated in their profiles.
Oh God.
Like, I'm vaccinated. It's like nobody cared, bro. Nobody cared then. They certainly don't care now.
You got a vaccine, huh? That's funny because the doctors that invented them are telling me that it's not a vaccine at all.
Yeah, it's fucking.
But that's
therapeutic.
all
But
right.
they changed the definition.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff, people will be like, "Oh, that's a conspiracy." No, bitch, look it up.
Yeah.
They literally changed the definition.
Yeah.
The way they recognize what a vaccine is to accommodate this new fucking vaccine.
Bro,
People are like, it's not new. Like,
yeah.
it's not new. It's been studied. I'm like, yeah, but not enough.
No, not at all.
Long term.
And we actually, not only was it not studied, what little study we did have of it was silenced because it proved a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's not a vaccine. It's going to affect your DNA.
Well,
It
what they
attaches
did?
itself.
You know what they did that fucked the study up was they vaccinated the people that were in the placebo.
Ah, there you go.
You're supposed to have two control groups.
Yeah.
So that you know what happens to the people that didn't have the vaccine,
Yes.
and you know what happens to the people that did have the vaccine. And you vaccinated the placebo,
Jesus.
and now we don't know what happens to the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated. You ruined the fucking test. And then for some reason you didn't want the data to be released for 75 years.
Yeah.
Why?
So much shady shit about it. And that's one thing that scares me now is because they're trying to make that one of the scheduled vaccines for children.
Dude.
I'm like, I told the doctor's office, I will burn this fucking place down if you come at me with that thing. Sir, you can't say that. Ha! Yes, I can.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's just it. So let's just leave it there.
It's like that's
Don't do it. You know what? And that fucking I want to fucking read that book that this guy talks about all the vaccines. Robert F. Kennedy.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
The way he talks about that shit, I'd be interested to hear what somebody else has to say. They don't want to debate. That's the
Yep.
fucking problem.
Yep.
You can't get somebody to like have. I get listening to somebody tell me something, right? I heard him say it, right? It sounds very convincing. I've heard people refute it. Sounds very convincing. I want you to debate it.
Yeah.
I want to
it to
see
me.
two people that know what they're talking about say counter what somebody's saying in real time,
Yeah.
so that I can see for myself what's real.
Why on earth is that impossible?
The guy
know
won't
what
do
I
it.
mean?
The guy that's been on fucking Rogan before doesn't want to come back on to dispute
Oh.
this because he's like, I don't want to give him a platform. He's like, hey, buddy, he's already got one. You're not platform. You're not, he's already got one.
Was he? This is one of the guys that was talking because obviously he had a ton of doctors on, but I remember he had McCulloch, and
It's the one. No, it's RFK Jr.
Yeah,
And the guy that they want him to debate is the guy that is like he was on Rogan too, and he was the guy with the glasses that was advocating for the vaccine
Right,
and all that
that's what I
stuff.
thought.
And then Rogan
That's
was
what
like,
I
"Hey man,
was asking.
do you exercise?" He's like, "What do
Yeah.
you eat?" And he fucking was like a fucking unhealthy pig.
Wow.
And it's like, like you don't take care of your health.
Wow.
It's like, why are you telling other people about your health
yeah.
and you don't know about you don't even take care of your own?
Bull.
So yeah, so he crushed him with that shit.
So he won't go. That's why
he won't go
on
back on.
anymore.
Yeah, 'Cause
And I'm sure that somebody
yes.
else is
Good
telling
fucking
him,
point.
don't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
For sure, all the
know?
people that side with it are like, you don't want to legitimize him.
All
And it's
the
like,
people that they had that ruling on. Those people are going to go right to him. Listen,
Yeah.
don't fucking talk this shit that we don't want you talking.
yeah.
You know, and
That's
I'm
why
sure
you
at
see-
a certain level you're going to have death threats. I'm
But
sure.
people like censorship. There's people that like it. The people that don't want to feel like that feeling I was just talking about being wrong, right? They don't want to hear an opposing thought that might be right.
Yeah.
So they like censorship. That's why when Instagram just came out with the new Threads app, which is like the fucking Instagram's Twitter, Facebook's Twitter, it's like it's now they just did a government Twitter again. That's all they did.
Really?
It's just government Twitter
The same
again.
fucking
It's
thing.
Twitter without,
Well,
Well, it's what it's gonna be.
it all boils down to them not wanting to, in the end, sacrifice something. Money. They're making money with an industry. They don't want to sacrifice that. It's in the end, maybe they don't want to feel a certain way. They don't want to feel bad or wrong or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they push this shit because ultimately they don't want to sacrifice something that they're benefiting from.
Yeah, of course. That's all it was. It's fucking weird. It's a whole weird fucking
Nobody's
system
going to wrap their hand around it, and that's
that
wild.
you fucking collapse on.
We're never
Just
going to
hope
see
it-
the end of it. We'll
hope it
never know how
collapses
this
on
book
my head.
ends.
Yeah.
And we got kids. Hey, cheers.
That's the shit you got to fucking deal with. Then you have to deal with shit that goes on in school.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm frightened. This kid's got to go to school soon. And I'm not the type of guy that can afford to send her somewhere where I know she's going to be taught a certain way.
No.
She's going to get this public shit.
I was
Which
talking
used to be all right.
I was talking to somebody else about like school and shit. I think it was on one of these last episodes because I do a ad for Combat Fitness Club, my boy Dane's boxing gym,
Nice.
and and we're talking about like how bullying. I don't like the way they use the word bully now. Like they classify things like that aren't bullying
Right.
as bullying. Like there's
Yep.
bullying. There's some serious problem with the way kids are. Kids are evil. And then there's the problem that now, when you used to be able to go home and not have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And now it follows you home with social media and
Yes.
text messages and shit.
There is
And
real bullying.
There's
for sure.
bullying but it's a harassment.
Yeah.
It's a targeted harassment.
It's terrorism.
That's bully.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's bullying. Cracking jokes on each other.
No.
It's not bullying. Like I think people have to go with that some adversity.
Yeah.
The adversity of being made fun of, the adversity of being questioned.
Like we were talking about before, having an older brother that kind of fucking beats you down a little bit. It's tough love.
Yes, it is.
These fucking kids don't get any of it anymore. And it's gone. They successfully took another, almost like a moral a part of the family dynamic away from us by entering laws. Weird shit that kind of guide society through this funnel.
Yeah.
Now it's
Look at what they're trying to do.
Starts out as tongue in cheek, then it becomes bullying. Now it's like illegal and like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening? And then it's a weird subject too, because you don't want to be the guy that's like, yeah, you can bully, and of course they'll switch that around on you and go, this guy loves bullying. What the fuck's wrong with him? No, that's not what I'm saying. There's terrible, horrific things that happen. So cracking a joke on somebody, you should have thick enough bark to deal with that, because when the crazy shit does happen, you're going to fold or not know how to handle it.
Exactly. And then you get... fucking get this Ian Smith shit off already. You get shit like, I just saw this.
What is this? Instagram?
Yeah, look at this. Then you get, if you have been bullied, right? This kid was bullied.
Yeah.
This kid was bullied. Mark Zuckerberg was definitely bullied.
Oh my God.
Right? Now he's a billionaire guy training with fucking world champions. Well, 2 world champions.
Mark Zuckerberg looking shredded, training with MMA fighters.
Yeah.
Wow.
No. Hey, guys. Hey, please. It's not just fighters. This is the reigning middleweight champion and the fucking featherweight champion.
What the fuck?
Or lightweight champion.
So he's ripped.
Is he
what this tells me, guy?
No,
for the first time in his life, he worked out a little bit, and they gave him some fucking Winnie.
He's been training jiu-jitsu, and he's been winning tournaments. He's been literally competing in tournaments and winning. Now he's going to fight Elon Musk.
Right?
In a cage.
I heard about this. This is fucking so
And Elon Musk is like a sambo... a sambo guy. Yeah. He trains. He's
sambo,
not. Yeah, he's not a fucking.
That's awesome.
He trains too.
I used to do sambo, bro.
It's fucking nuts, bro. But these are people that faced adversity in life, their whole upbringing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did he?
Yeah, if you're a fucking geek,
yeah.
If you're a fucking computer geek, the kid went to Harvard. He didn't go to Harvard He didn't go to Harvard on a fucking scholarship, a fucking athletic scholarship.
Well, he wasn't a geek in the hood. Where was he? Surrounded by geeks.
Yeah, he was a fucking geek. No, but you're a fucking geek in a regular high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I guess.
Was
he wealthy? Was he poor kid? I don't know much about this guy except that I hate him. I think he's a fucking lizard.
He's a lizard. He's a fucking.
I watched him for 4 hours, not blink or breathe. So
well, I think he's like a Lex Luthor type. Right? Where you're like what? You're really smart, and then he's really smart, but he also didn't invent Facebook.
Right.
Took it from somebody else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So same thing with Bill Gates. These aren't people that are creators. These are people that are
just
like
smart.
They're very smart. I would say
narcissistic
influencers, maybe. You know what I mean? Where they're able to take somebody's product and get other people
and make it big,
and do something with it, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
He didn't do nothing.
Yeah,
he did do something, but he did something with somebody else's creation.
Put a lot of work into this guy. Put a lot of work into stealing something.
He's not like fucking
really smart way,
like Elon. Elon's created.
Yeah,
that's
true. That's true. I don't know how that's going to help him.
But like him,
in the fight, but
Bill Gates, these people, they get that, right? So if you're willing to do that, then you already see that there's no moral limit,
right,
to you. So you start progressing, and you start fucking.
Yeah, keep taking and taking and taking.
Oh man, this is easy.
Build it up.
This is so easy. Oh wait, you fucking with the kids too? Oh, all right, I could do this too.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Oh, man, this is great. Nobody's fucking do shit. Look, you can't do nothing, bro. I'm doing this shit right in front of you.
Oh, it's
this
power.
Is hilarious, yes.
It's power. Yeah,
power,
for
you
sure.
Get corrupted.
Came from an absence of power. You're right. We see that all the time. A microcosm of that is like the nerd that got fucked with or like whatever in high school, the kid that didn't have friends, and all of a sudden he's a cop, and he's a bad cop. Yep. And he's a bad cop that doesn't know how to control his power. Yeah.
Jordan Peterson talks about all that time. The man that you want is the dangerous man that knows how to suppress it. Not a man that's not dangerous.
Yep.
You don't want a man that's not
dangerous.
Is
a good man, 100%.
Yeah, because he suppresses it. A dangerous man that holds it back is a better man than a man that's not capable of danger.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're not
absolutely.
capable of being dangerous.
You're a warrior in a
because
garden.
if you do get that power, you're more likely to abuse it.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
makes fucking crazy sense.
You don't want to be the gardener stuck in a war.
Yeah.
And you have no choice. But if you are that warrior that can poise himself in a garden, then you've got it. Absolutely. I totally agree about that.
For sure.
We don't need, but that's what's weirdly going on right now. The demasculinization. You hear that word so much. Masculinity, toxic, over masculine. You know, did you just try, what's the thing they say now? Did you just try and man me or something?
Mansplain.
Mansplain?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's all this weird
I'm a
fucking.
man, and I try to explain something, I think.
I think all that stuff again is like the creation of a narrative to try to divide people, and then you get a lot of unhappy people.
I think it creates a lot of subservient people.
Oh, yeah,
that
for
are
sure.
easily manipulated. You
Yeah.
know,
because it's
strong
another
man.
it's another way to identify with your group,
Yeah.
with your tribe. It's another talking point. If you start talking like that, you know that you're in that fucking
Yeah.
tribe.
And that
you know?
sucks because that's a good thing to try and be. I want, if I have a son, I want him to try and be like that. I've always tried to be
man.
like that. But now all of a sudden, everyone puts you in a little circle, in a little group, and says, oh, because of the way you act, you are that. That's the worst thing ever. This is global terrorism. That's,
Yeah.
this is going on everywhere in the fucking world, at least hard in this country. And I just feel like all that's going to do is create problems for the next generation that doesn't have any masculinity.
Good. And then you get fucking feeble little bitches that would shoot up a school.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You get feeble little broken fucking pieces of shit.
Broken over little things, like, yeah, you got teased. Guess what? I got teased too. I was a fat fuck. I was slovenly, whatever. Guess what I did? I figured out what being a good man was in my own eyes, and I cleaned up, and I fucking lost some weight or whatever. I started training this or that. I went through it, and I got good lessons from it.
Yeah.
These kids go through the tiniest little thing, and instead of taking a good lesson from it, they go the easy route. And right now, the easy route is calling yourself something that will immediately demand everyone's attention.
Mm-hmm. And respect,
and
you're
respect,
fucking
you have
brave.
to.
You're a
Yep,
hero.
Yep.
Now
God
you're a
forbid
fucking
anybody
hero.
questions you. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Nobody's
you're an
going to
Avenger.
question you. Yeah.
You're an Avenger now.
You're a superhero now.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
If anybody
pierce
makes fun of
another
you,
nose.
if anybody makes fun of you, they're automatically hateful.
Yeah.
They're the enemy.
It's so nice and easy to just make that happen for really little kids that are malleable. They have no idea what the fuck is going on. They're 17, 18 years old now.
Could not imagine going to school now.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's got to be fucking horrifying.
But then I guess it's only like that because we have the knowledge. Like we have,
The experience. That
experience.
we did.
But if you are growing up in it now, I guess it probably would be the same shit.
That's even scarier to me. That these kids are going there and it's I don't know what it's like, but I can imagine that it's scary and these kids think that that's normal. So they're going to go, they spend most of their childhood at school. I'm not going to be able to guide them the way I need to because they're at school and they're being taught things completely different. So it's going to be one way at my home and then they're going to go to school and see all this fucking whack, easy shit going on, like I don't even know what is going on, but I know that it's not right. I know that there's kids at my cousin's kids' school, really, really close to here, right? In Fairfield. That's the one right up here, right?
No, I think that's far. That's farther east.
Fairfield. It's
Fairfield
kind of by
is
Total.
closer by. Yeah, it's closer there. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a kid that they had to put a litter box in the nurse's office.
Get the fuck
Straight up
out of here.
And they had
This
a
is
whole
nonsense.
meeting about this. They had
This
to
is
tell all the
nonsense.
parents.
That's the parents.
Yeah.
That's the parents. You see, if that would have been in my house growing up, my mom would have busted the fucking cat litter
Yeah.
over my head.
Yeah.
She would have went. She's like, "Oh, you want cat litter?" She's gonna buy it and she's gonna put it in my bed. That's what she's gonna do. Get
Yep.
shit here, you little asshole.
Yep.
You know.
It's not like Sebastian on his last special. He had a good one. He was talking. This is the parents. You come down dressed like a lion. Oh, I guess he's a lion.
Yeah.
You know, like is that what you're thinking?
No,
Oh, I guess he's a lion
Get
today.
your
Okay, let's
fucking
go.
ass upstairs.
Get your ass
Yeah.
up there and fucking change.
Yeah.
That's how I would have got it.
Yeah.
I did get that.
100%. You
I
can
tried
play
to fuck
around.
around a little bit. I tried to dye my hair one day, and my
Oh,
dad,
that's fucking. No,
you
no,
know,
no,
he
no,
hit me with the truth.
Yeah,
and back then, I thought he was a dick for like 5 minutes. And then I grew up. Holy cow! What about the rest of the dumb shit that he didn't catch?
Yeah, that's the fucking. That is 100% accurate. Like you
don't
just
have
have no. If I would have like came out of my room with some dumb shit, I could get away with it for a little while, playing around. You know, I used to make fucking. I used to be 12 years old, 13 years old, making championship belts.
Yeah,
Right? I used to make fucking
with paper and stuff.
with cardboard. I'd
Cardboard?
get like if there was a big cardboard box,
yeah,
I would cut out the championship out of it.
Nice.
I would cut it out, and then I would cut out other little square pieces.
Oh,
And then I
yeah?
would tape them to the front, and then I would have the front, and I would wrap it all in tin foil.
Nice,
And
bro.
then I would fucking write on it with markers and shit, and then I would have these fucking titles. Right, and I would have tag team titles, so I could have fucking
Sick.
2 championships. I would make world championships, intercontinental championships. I would make all these belts, and I'd play around with it. But if I told my mom I was going to school because I was the champion, she'd be like, "You ain't the fucking champion of shit." She'd be like, "You better put that shit." I'm not getting a fucking call
You
from the
give me no
school.
rent today.
Yeah. You ain't,
Fuck,
call,
no champion.
you ain't calling the school. I don't want to hear no damn phone call from the school about you. You need to assault kitty litter at the school? Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
Are you kidding me? That's what I mean. Like, you have nobody's pushing back.
Yeah.
The kids need resistance.
Well, there's like a little line, I think. Like even what you were talking about, going to school as the World Wrestling Federation champion. Like, yeah, that's silly, but okay, I could see you doing that at like 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody saw that, like, all right, the kid's dressed in normal clothes. He's got a belt on though because he's playing a little game. That's kind of more normal. You know, so that little blurry line disappeared a long time ago, and now we got kids on all fours pissing in fucking sand.
But if my daughter wanted to bring something with her to school, you can't bring nothing.
Yeah.
You can't bring toys. You can't bring anything. There's no playing.
No shit. Yep.
There's no playing. You're here for school.
At school.
There's no fucking
playing.
playing. There's no imagination time.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah, that's true.
I can't
also.
bring the belt. I
You're
can't
supposed
bring
to go
the
there
belt.
and fucking learn.
Yeah.
You're not bringing the belt with you.
Can't bring shit. If my daughter brings anything to school with her, they'll fucking tell me, don't send this here. Like, don't send your little furry kid to the school.
Wow.
Your kid's not a furry here.
I know, bro.
Your kid's a kid.
And they don't want your daughter bringing a Barbie or whatever
Mm-hmm.
because it's a distraction from learning.
You fucking have a fucking kitty litter? That's not a distraction.
That's not a distraction. Where'd this kid go? Where'd the cat go?
Yeah.
Where's the fucking cat?
Yeah, then you get little fucking Vic Cedeno who goes and takes a shit in your kid's kitty litter because it's funny.
Yeah.
And then everybody's fucking up
And
in
now,
arms.
and now he's the asshole.
yeah. And that's the fucking
He's
international
the
incident.
delinquent. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's only for him. Why? I can't.
Where's
I
the
wanted to.
cat?
I felt like a fucking cat. Today.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be a fucking cat.
Oh, I bet you nowadays you could probably pull that off.
yeah.
Though.
No. I'm a cat,
Where's
motherfucker.
the fucking cat?
Don't talk to cats like that. You call PETA.
You know what my
Shit.
dog does? My dog sits in the back of the room and jerks off while people are talking. So can I
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah. Just sit in the back and fucking lick your balls.
It's fucked, man. And these are little kids. These are little. I can't wrap my head around it, and I'm 42 fucking years old.
Yeah.
They stand no chance.
Nope.
And do we stand a chance? Like, are we going to be able to
Yeah.
guide this kid?
Yep.
She's going to be at fucking school 8 hours a day, or
Listen, the way I see it is our parents had to get us ready for the internet without ever even knowing that the internet was going to be a thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like we can't
But they
we
did that
can't
before the
control.
internet.
No, I know, but what I mean is like we can't control the kids' environment and what they're going to be exposed to, right? And this is something that I've recently started believing. It's actually restored my faith in God, right?
Really?
And I feel like we're being presented with an unprecedented amount of evil. And the only thing that you can combat that evil with is
good
God.
Yeah.
Like the moral compass, whether it's fucking true or not, is irrelevant.
No, that's why I said good,
right?
Because God to you
Yeah.
is good. It
It's
represents morals,
good. Exactly.
That's positivity.
Yeah,
And
that's
right.
one of the reasons why going back to Jordan Peterson when he talks about religion, and he's like, I don't know if Christianity's right or not. I just know it's better to live this way than not.
Yeah.
Like
it's a moral representation.
Yeah. It's like there's all these other things involved, but I don't even know what the fucking point I was trying to make about good and evil. Is you can't get caught up in what is out there, right? Like you have to be able to fight it if you can. Go to your board of education meeting, speak up, confront your teacher, about shit, confront I'm not saying hide in the house. But what I mean is by creating that morality at home and like reinforcing that and being present, I see how much of it is just being present. It's just talking. It's just asking questions, being involved, like spending time with that, not just asking, hey, how's your day? And that's it. Like, hey, what'd you learn today?
In it.
Yeah, what'd you learn today? There's anything that stood out to you today? Was there anything crazy? Did you learn anything that you didn't expect? What do you guys, like when you're asking detailed questions and not letting it just to be, it was all right. It was when you're getting involved and you get a sense of what they're saying and what they're actually experiencing. And then you could be like, well, that's actually not the way it is.
Right.
That's
kind
not,
of good because if you're right. That's the only way to like stay involved and not to stay involved. We're talking about staying involved. That's the only way to understand what your kid is going through is to, and I bet it's so easy.
Yeah, and to prepare them to confront that shit so that when they do get confronted with something, you could be like, all right, well, this isn't right.
Right.
But also I don't judge people. You can be able to see the things and be exposed to things and know that that's not your moral compass and not also be judgmental about it and be a dick about it.
Yeah,
because you don't want to create dicks.
Walk with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the fucking teaching. The teaching isn't rejecting people. It's not about judging people. It's not for us to say what is right or wrong with what people are doing. Yes,
in the way that
you
want to live.
And expressing that to other people, but not judging them.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
those are the teachings of Jesus. Jesus sat with the prostitutes and the bad people and got to know that, and because then you shine to them and not turn people off.
Yep.
The whole point was to try to attract people into what you believe, not condemn people for the way they live.
Yeah, and I think it's important to learn, one of the things that I kind of loathe is when people tell me how to feel or how to act or how to be. I don't want that. I tell people I would like my daughter to talk to people and communicate the way I do. And I say, I believe this. I believe in that. I prefer to do this. I don't care what you do. That's fine. If it's something that I don't agree with, I don't really care. But I don't want her to be influenced by it and have a tougher time making that decision when I'm not there holding her up. Yeah. But you're right, that's the only way to do it is to just instill it in her. And it's our job as the overwatcher.
The overwatch.
To bring it back.
The overwatch.
You're the overwatcher of your child, and it's not just making sure they don't bump their head on the side of my TV stand. It's to fucking make sure that the devil don't get in her. And I don't even know if the devil exists.
You're the guardian of a galaxy.
Yeah.
No, the devil definitely exists
as a negative, the same way God exists as my positive.
The yin and yang.
100%. Exactly. The serpent. It's everywhere, bro. It's fucking everywhere. Somebody just stole her fucking car. My daughter's Barbie car was stolen out of my driveway.
It challenges you at all costs,
man. It's fucking
man.
Wild.
And that's like they want the crazy thing too is how they really, really you could tell them things all you want. And, they'll learn a lot from what you tell them and what you preach constantly. But where they really learn is in what you do.
Boom.
And how you behave.
Yep.
Right? They're fucking always watching you.
Yeah.
They're watching you when you're driving. They're watching you interact with other people.
Yep.
They're watching how you talk to other people. They're watching how you talk about other people behind their back.
Dude. That's you teaching them 24/7.
Yes.
And you don't even know it.
Yep.
That's how people pass this down, this or that. It's not from what I said to you. No, you're absolutely right,
Yep.
bro.
They watch you and how you act with other people. If you're somebody that talks shit about other people all the time behind their back, talking shit, not cracking jokes. If you're talking shit and gossiping about people behind their back, they watch that. And they'll either do it themselves or they'll resent you for doing it because they don't like it.
Wow.
And then it'll be something they hold against you and not even know it. Subconsciously and then you'll always wonder why you're getting this attitude from them. And it's because they actually resent you for something.
And I wonder if they would even recognize that in some case. I just
you only
resent my
recognize
dad for being a dick, but I don't know why.
You only recognize that through therapy.
Yes.
And going over and or being self-aware. The only reason I know about it is through all that shit I went through in court and stuff, and all those programs. I learned how to be self-aware. And
that's why therapy is good and why
it
it's so
works.
effective.
Yeah, there's a lot of it works. But it's about not so much therapy and psychotherapy, all that analysis shit. I don't know, they try to reprogram your brain or some shit. I don't know. But I know if you're aware of the fact that you can make decisions when you're a kid and then they turn out you just end up you live those decisions out. They're an instance when you're a kid and something happens to you and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I'm such an asshole. And then now the whole life you're like, I'm an asshole. Everything you do is based on the fact that you're an asshole. You're an asshole. So everything you do, you'll never push yourself past a certain point. You'll always limit yourself because you keep thinking that you're that asshole. You already made a decision as a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old that you're an asshole, and now you're going to play out that asshole character for the rest of your life.
Oh my God.
Not knowing that you could just be like, hey man, I'm not an asshole.
Holy shit.
And change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's me.
Yeah, well, that's the same. Everybody has it.
Has that, right? That's probably your ego.
Mine was that I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Right. I did as when I first moved to Hasbrook Heights. I was changing schools. I talk about this to death on the podcast. Yeah. But I was changing schools, and I didn't want the same thing that was happening to me the last time. I was outcasted. I was bullied a lot. Not bullied. I was bullied. I was targeted. And a lot of it was weird, inclusive kind of bullying where they wanted me to be their friends, but I was the guy they always shitted on. It was
everybody knows that guy.
It was a bad, it was a bad fucking situation. I just was, even the fucking Asian kids said racial remarks to me. I was fucking, I was the only Spanish kid, so everybody called me Spick, right? So it was that situation. So I'm coming into this new school. I want to make a better first impression. My mom I go to school already, and and I see the kids, everybody's wearing Boss jeans and shit. So my mom's taking me school shopping. And I'm like, Mom, I got to get Boss jeans. And she's like, you're not getting Boss jeans. You're getting these jeans. And it's Arizona jeans. We're at Sears. Sears doesn't have Boss jeans. And we're not going anywhere else. Yeah. And I made a decision right there. I'm not good enough. Right? I don't deserve it. I don't deserve the nice things. Not fucking a decision a grown-up adult makes. Yeah. That's a decision a child makes because they don't understand the complexities of budgets and financial, and it doesn't really matter what genes you have. If you're fucking funny and a nice guy, nobody's going to care, right? A kid doesn't know that. So as a kid, I make this stupid-ass decision, and now the rest of my fucking life, that's how I perceive everything. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for it anyway. That's why all through high school and into fucking 24, 25, 26 to 32 years old, I didn't want to know what I'm going to do with my life because I never thought I deserved anything.
Dude, this is my life. That's so fucking real.
What I mean?
That's so true. I feel like I went through the same thing for the same reasons. When I went to Hasbrook Heights, I came from Pal Park. From before that, I was a little kid, and I was in Albany going to school, you know? I was always poor. And then when I got there, these kids are wearing Cavaricis. They look fucking retarded. But at the time that was the coolest thing ever. And I think I went through the same thing. And that scares the fuck out of me with my daughter. Because they're so pure. They're so wonderfully pure. They don't care. Like at bath time, she runs around with a diaper or naked and her pot belly's out, you know what I mean? Or we're on 4th of July, we're in the baby pool and she doesn't care. Her body is free and she's perfect, you know, she's a baby still. But that at one point that is going to go bye-bye. She's going to meet other kids and they're going to create this insecurity.
Dude, kids
and
are
I'm so
fucking
scared.
ruthless, bro.
I know. And that's part of me having to make her strong before that happens, you know? And
yep, that's reinforcing that shit. And I do that to my daughter all the time. Constantly telling her I love her. I constantly telling her how wonderful she is, how special she is, how good she is, how everything she, you know, like you tries. And I'm like trying to do this new thing I've started doing is about reinforcing the family name and making her proud. That was a fucking Andrew Tate thing that I picked up. How his father raised him to be proud of his name so that when he was out and about, he knew he represented the family and he couldn't be a fucking, you know, you can't be representing the name.
Oh, I love that.
Fucked up. You're a fucking, you know, you're a Cedeno. You better fucking act like it, you know, and shit like that. And, you know, reinforcing that in her, but also, you know, trying to reinforce the fact that other people's opinions don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because she was remember I told you let's hang out at that fucking Kids Empire place?
Yeah.
Right? Before you know, my daughter had a lazy eye. Right, and we've been taking her to therapy and stuff. Luckily, her mother is on that about. She recognized that it would be a problem for her,
sure,
and in her insecurity. And me, I'm a guy. I'm like, who fuck
like
what everybody
fine,
says.
whatever.
She's
Right.
yeah, she's beautiful. She's perfect. She's fine. Meanwhile, it did make her insecure. I had some kid at the fucking Kids Empire. She was like, "Hey, you want to play?" And she's like, "I don't want to play with you. Your fucking eye is weird. Get out of here."
Get the fuck out of here! What,
bro?
Oh, smacking some
completely
motherfucker.
shattered.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying? So you know how fucking how upsetting it could fucking be.
Oh my god! I would have lost it, bro.
Yeah, man, and it's you know, kids. So you have to build them up to be able to withstand the outside because they can't. There's no way for you to protect them. You can't build a bubble. You can't helicopter parent. You can't do any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't protect them from everything. Yeah. So you have to make them strong enough to be able to fucking, because that's what you want, because you're not going to be here forever.
Yep.
That's the other terrifying thing. That sometimes fucking keeps me up at night. It's part of the reason why I smoke so much weed is because I have this inherent fear from me not growing up without a dad, from me growing up without a dad, and knowing what type of a gap it leaves in a fucking kid's life to not grow up without a parent. So that's like terrifying for me. When like me getting past her 6th birthday was like a fucking milestone for me because like now I'm like, wow, you've had a dad longer than I had, you know, and that like terrifies me, the fact that I know it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. I can't have it the other way around. Yeah. It has to be me first.
Oh,
so
God,
she's, you know what I'm saying? So there's gonna be a time when I'm not gonna be around, and I want her to be good. Right, so that's my only fucking thing is you got to harden her up so that when I'm not around, you know, that's why I keep a journal too that I write to her.
Do you really?
Yeah. I write to her. I just keep this journal and I write. I filled up 1 book so far, and you know when I'm gone,
that's awesome, bro.
Because like I said, I know what it's like to grow up without a dad, and to be wanting his guidance my whole life and not having anything from him.
Wow.
You know, so now I have this notebook where I just talk about things, and hopefully when she reads it, she gets some sort of guidance from me about it. You know what I'm saying? Like she gets some sort of perspective from me. She gets, you know, some comfort from me, whatever, in these fucking words.
That's unbelievable.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's wild, man.
It's a fucking, I don't know where I got that idea from. And I started doing it. I had like a journal that was mine, and I wrote like it's all some stupid shit, like the whole beginning of it.
Thoughts?
It's like I put a date, and then I'm like the first entry is like had a great day. steak and joint for dinner.
Okay.
Like, and it was like a real small. And then like I just, I was writing about stuff I was going through in my head, but I wasn't really opening up. So, all the entries are short. Then later on, I, open up a little more. Then when I start writing to her, now it's fucking full pages. And I'm fucking just writing what's going on, the stuff with me and her mother and like everything. So all my perspective,
nice.
so like she understands my side.
God. When are you gonna?
I thought I said when she's 18, or when I'm gone, like it's hers to have
great, man.
Forever. Hopefully, whatever it gets to her and shit. But that's my fucking focal point in life is making sure she's good when I'm not here. And
that's what happens, like kind of reflective of what I was saying, like the way I felt that instant change. That's what happens when you become a father figure. Just like that. You you have a point where you didn't have a point just 2 minutes before you found out about this nugget, and now you have a point, and that's the one point. It actually wasn't when I found out she was pregnant. It was when I saw the baby. Then it all became real, and I was like, everything I do right now, from right now until I expire, is to make sure that she's good. And that's some pressure.
That's fucking good, bro. All right, man. Let's fucking wrap it. Let's get the fuck up out of here. It's good shit.
Awesome, dude. Great time.
Always.
Good talk.
Thanks for coming through.
Let's start off a little slow.
We're fucking amazed. We're amazed balls, baby.
It's been a while. I haven't been on mic in
we're
a while.
balls now, but we're fucking, the way we talk, we go right into it.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking like about it. That's
We're
why
extra whooped tonight.
Happy to fucking have you on.
I was extra stoned today, bro.
We were nice and fucking saucy. That's another thing, too. You got to settle in sometimes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, where can we reach you online? Big Mikey, Motor Mikey?
I am.
Are you advertising?
Yeah, I have a new Mikey Motor Bikey
Mikey
with two Y's
Motor
at the end
Bikey.
because they took the other one with one Y at the end. So
bastards.
Fight the fucking cause, and you can follow
Fight the
me if
cause,
you want.
baby.
I vet everybody though. I'm private. So
Good, yeah, good.
Be careful, and Godspeed if you want to
Godspeed, you sons of bitches. All right, real quick ads, of course, always. The VCast is brought to you by NJNY, pooltableservice.com, the A-Team. If you're moving a pool table, the A-Team are the best pool table movers in New Jersey and in the entire tri-state area. Hiya! Pool table service, pool table moving service, pool table repair, pool table dismantle, assembly, if you need to fix the felt, if you need to just to get it out of there, if you get a free table on fucking Craigslist or on Facebook Marketplace, don't move it yourself. Call the experts. Go to njnypooltableservice.com, call the A-Team, and get your shit right. And we got Empire Sewer and Water, New Jersey. Empire Sewer and Water, NJ.com. Empire Sewer and Water do commercial and residential drain and plumbing services. They are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Make sure you get a free estimate on their website. Don't get dicked around by these other ass crack plumbers. All of these plumbers are in shape, and they all... no, I don't know if they're all in shape. They might have bellies. I'm just fucking overselling it now. But they can solve all your sewer and drain issues. All right, get your pipes right for the summer because you're shitting a lot. All these damn barbecues. All right, don't flush your toilet paper. Go check out the gift shop too. They got nice little onesies with their dope logo. I love the New Jersey Empire logo on there. It looks dope, especially on the onesies. I don't see any onesies on the shop. They had them, but not anymore. Empire, go to Empire Sewer and Water NJ.com and get your free estimate. And last but not least, Combat Fitness Club, the boxing and fitness personal training facility in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. It's right there on Main Street, right down the block from. It's right next to the bike shop and also down the street from Domino's. So you could get a pizza after you train, you fat bastard. But you could go down and get train with some professional boxers. Dane is 1-0, or I think his first fight was a draw. I think it was a draw. That fucking sucks. But I thought he won that fight. I watched the fucking replay back. Certified personal training. You could DM to reserve your package. All right. If you're going to go down the shore this year, don't go down there and get slapped up. Make sure you get your Combat Fitness Club training first before you hit DJs so that you can have some pep in your step. All right. You want the baseline in your body, especially if you have kids. I brought my daughter over there. She started doing some training. She started learning combos, and now she knows if some kid messes with her, she knows 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? She knows how to throw punch, jab, right hook, and across, and your kid's going down. She's punched me in the arm sometimes when I'm not looking, and the shit hurts. I'm really, really, really curious what another kid's face would feel like, but I hope she doesn't have to punch anybody in the face. But bring your kid down, because if somebody is going to get punched in the face, you're not going to want it to be your kid. Make sure it's the other kid. So teach your kid how to fight. Teach yourself how to fight. Stop being a punk. This is the VCast, also brought to you by the Dojo of Comedy, tipscomedy.com. Get your tickets. We're killing banging ass shows down here every single week. We're going to be on hiatus soon for the summer, and we're going to be blowing it out at the end of the summer with Eddie Pepitone. So make sure you get your ass over here. If you've never seen that motherfucking legend, you better see him now. All right. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Mwah.
You're listening to my dad of the VCast.